You made it to part 3, and I want to start by saying that this matters. Most studio owners never slow down long enough to actually look at their business. They just keep going, the next class, the next season, the next year, and they're going to get to the strategy part someday. But you've gotten to the strategy part, so let's make it count. Because what I want to talk about in this final video is something that most dance studio owners have never fully let themselves consider. And once you do, you're going to see everything changes. Let me ask you something. When did you last think of your dance studio as a business? Not as a calling, not as a passion, not as a thing that you were born to do, because it might be all of those things, but I'm talking about thinking of it as a business, a real one with systems and profit margin and a plan. For a lot of dance studio owners, the honest answer is not recently and maybe never. I want to be direct about what this is costing you because I've seen it enough times to know. A business exists to serve the owner, and most dance studio owners I encounter are doing the exact opposite. The studio owns the studio owner. The owner is the first one in and the last one out. They're handling the teaching, the scheduling, the parent communication, the marketing, the billing, the recital logistics, and they're doing it while taking a second job to cover what the studio doesn't pay them. Or they're pulling from savings or paying everyone else first and hoping that there's something left over for themselves at the end of the month. That is not a business, my friends. That is a very expensive and very exhausting act of love. And here's the part that I think is worth saying plainly, is you did not open your studio to live like this. You opened it because dance changed your life and you wanted to give that to other people. That vision is real. But what I've learned is that the business is not the enemy of that art or the passion. The business is what protects it. And when your studio runs like a true business, when enrollment is consistent, when the systems are working, and you can actually pay yourself, you're gonna get to do more of what you love. You get to hire people. You get to say yes to programs that you've always wanted to offer. You get to stop surviving and start building your future. The business is not what you do instead of the art. The business is what sets the art free. I wanna take a moment and describe what it looks like when these systems are actually working for the business. September through December is where the beginning of the season begins. This is the start of the dance studio year, and in a studio that's running well, you don't start in September to start filling spots. You start September with momentum that you've already built. Your existing students have rolled into the new season. Retention isn't happening by accident. It happened because the communication and the relationships were being maintained all year. And sitting alongside those returning students are the new families who found you over the summer. They came in for a trial, they felt the culture, and they signed up before September even arrived. Your fall enrollment events are already planned and scheduled. Your intro offers are in the market, and new students are coming in through the door in a steady, planned cadence, and you're not scrambling to find more. You begin the season larger than you end the last, every single year. Then, December through March, this is the next wave. The new year brings a natural surge of parents looking for something new for their child, and you're already ready for it. You've planned spring sessions specifically to welcome new students in, even while your ongoing classes are deep in choreography. Those two things can coexist because you plan for them to. There are beginner tracks and intro programs designed to bring in families without disrupting the progress that's already there from your existing classes. And even in the middle of winter, you're already thinking about summer because that's what parents are doing. They're looking at summer activities in January and February. So your open houses, your dance events, your summer camp early registration, those conversations are already happening, not in May when it's too late. Then, April through June, you're not going quiet because of your busiest stretch. This is where the recital trap used to live, and now it doesn't. Your recital prep is in full swing, competitions are already on the calendar, and it's generally all-consuming on the inside, but none of that means that your enrollment has stopped because you planned for this. Your summer marketing is already running, the ads, the offers, and the follow-ups, they've been in motion since early March, and by the time you're backstage at your spring showcase, families are already registering for your summer. Your summer programs are filling up not because you found the time to market them in April, but because the system was working in the background the whole entire time. Now you come out of recital season with summer already handled and fall enrollment plans already drafted, which leads us to July through August, the big pivot and the proof. This is the moment that used to feel like the bottom, the quiet after the recital, the scramble to fill the summer, the dread of having to start over in the fall, but now it's looking completely different. Your summer classes and trials are already running, new families are in the door, and even as summer programs are happening, fall enrollment is building because you started in May. You hit September not just where you left off, but ahead of where you were. And then something starts to happen that compounds over time. Your little ones who started as 3 to 4 years old are growing up, they're graduating into your other level classes. Your recreational students are starting to feed into your company and competition teams, and it's growing because the pipeline and the classes beneath them are full. You have enough students at every level that families can see the future. They can imagine their child continuing here for years. And you have the enrollment to hire another teacher. You take a step back from some of the classes that you've been covering, and you have a team that you're empowering to start taking off some of your plate. Then you get to spend more time in your zone of genius, whether that's teaching the students that you love the most, building the culture, building up your team, or maybe you're the artistic director that loves putting all your energy into the recitals. You're doing the thing that you actually opened the studio for. Year after year, you're starting bigger than you ended, and that's not luck, that's what a working system looks like. I know that picture might feel far away. Where you are right now is just trying to get through the next season. Most studio owners I talk to are surviving on love. They're working harder every year, paying themselves last, watching the business take more than it gives, and they've convinced themselves that that's just what it takes. That's just the price of doing something you love, and it's not. Grinding harder is not a growth strategy, and you don't have to keep earning the right to your own studio. The difference between the studio I just described and where a lot of them are right now isn't talent, it isn't passion, it's not work ethic, it's a system and someone helping them run it. And that's exactly what we do at Dance Motion Marketing. We build and run your meta ads, Facebook and Instagram, completely done for you. All you have to do is share your photos and videos, and our team handles the creative, the campaigns, and the weekly optimization that you never have time to touch. We even include the software that helps you keep track of every lead from the moment a parent raises their hand to the moment they enroll. No more spreadsheets, no more leads slipping through the cracks, just one place where everything lives and nothing gets forgotten. You get a dedicated account manager based here in the US, a real person working on your studio, available when you have questions, watching your results, and helping you plan ahead to keep the systems moving. You're not in this alone. And you get to join private weekly masterminds with other dance studio owners who are building exactly what you're building, sharing what's working, holding each other accountable, and growing together. Because this is a whole lot easier when you're not doing it in isolation. If anything in this series has landed for you, and if you recognize that your studio is in this cycle, or you saw yourself in the picture that I just painted and just felt the distance between where you are and where you want to be, I want to invite you to take one more step. We offer a free clarity call for dance studio owners. It's 1 hour, and we get to look at where your studio is right now across these 3 systems and the 9 components, and we're going to find your biggest gap. We're going to map out a realistic 90-day plan built specifically around you, your seasons, your size, and your goal. This is not a sales pitch. It's not a pressure conversation. Most people end up leaving with more clarity than they've had in a long time. The link to book is right below this video, and I hope our team can talk with you soon. And whatever you decide, know that what you're building matters, so keep going.